Villa fans, yes, I'm sure, like me, you were still buzzing from the result against Leicester City in the semi-final of the League Cup. Another day out at Wembley, and this time we're playing Man City. I know that Man City have done us 9-1 on aggregate, but you think back to the Etihad, and we didn't do too badly there against them, really. Yes, the mistake from Freddie G set up Sterling. They got two other goals, but we played well in that first half, and we've seen enough of Man City now to know that if you attack them, it causes their defence to panic a little bit. They will rest some players. They've got Real Madrid in the week before the game. I don't think that'll make a difference on who they play, if I'm completely honest with you. But there we go. We've got to have belief. We've got to believe that we can come away with another League Cup. And what an 18 months that would be for Dino, really, you know. He's been quality since he's joined us. Yes, we've had a couple of down spells, but he's always lifted us back up. You think back to the 10-game unbeaten run, the recent change in formation, and some of those players that he's brought in, they're really starting to show their qualities, how good they can be. Marvelous Nakamba recently in this formation, this 3-4-3, and Douglas Luiz have come alive really with their performances. Douglas Luiz against Leicester City for me was phenomenal. Every time Yuri Tielemans got the ball, he was in close proximity. You know, there was, yes, Tielemans hit the crossbar, great save by Nyland, but when Douglas could get forward, he was pushing on. You've got Matty Target. I haven't been his biggest fan. I'm positive about the players, but I haven't been his biggest fan. I think he maybe hasn't been as good as we thought he could be. But again, he's another one. He's getting more Premier League game time. He's getting forward. He's causing problems. The link up with Jack Grealish is phenomenal. And then, of course, you've got Samatta. He had a good debut. He was getting about the pitch. He was getting into the right areas. He was a little slow, but he hasn't played since Boxing Day. And he's got to get used to the pace of a game against other Premier League oppositions. Went very close following that tantalising ball from Grealish to opening his account. And don't forget, he had a goal disallowed. The ball had already been called offside when it went through down the right wing. But he took that shot away very nicely in front of the whole end. If he hadn't been offside, or if the offside call hadn't have happened for the assister, then you've got to think, would he have put that away? And if he's that composed, then hopefully he would have. So, brilliant. But the main thing now is deadline day. Transfer deadline day is coming up tomorrow. There are rumours, of course, mainly of outgoings. Hotter could be off to Fulham. I think he'd be a good signing for them. They like to play football. In behind Mitrovic, should be able to get them goals. And will Fulham then do a Villa and come up? You know, it seems that we're copying each other, apparently. There's talk of James Chester going to Stoke on loan. Don't think that's a bad move, to be honest. I'd be upset to see him leave, though. I think he's got a lot to offer. As I've mentioned before, he's got Premier League experience. And when we were calling out for it, he wasn't given game time, even though now our games are basically a week apart, so he's got more time to recover. Think back to Paul McGrath, James Chester, same sort of recovery programme, you know? He could have come in, but Esri Konsa is really stepping up. You're not going to budge him out of the way unless he has an absolute stinker, gets injured or suspended. So Chester going to Stoke isn't really a bad shout. Hopefully he gets games for Wales and then comes back to us and fights for his place in the team again for next season. Apart from those two, you never know. Henry Lansbury could go out on loan. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He's not getting the game time we're at the club now. And with players such as Davis on the bench, we've got McGinn, who's going to be coming back soon. other players who are going to be on the bench as well. You've got Indiana Vasilev, you've got Ramsey also. Is Lansbury going to get much of a look in? Will he even get onto the substitutes bench? Personally, he would be the lowest out of the main central midfielders that we've got. You've got Douglas Luiz, Danny Drinkwater, Marvellous Nakamba, Conor Harahan, and John McGinn when he returns, who are all in front of him. Henry Lansbury needs that game time. Probably needs to drop back down to the Championship and take things from there. Hopefully rebuild his career. I'm sure there would be plenty of suitors for him. We've also seen that Scott Hogan has gone out on loan to Birmingham City. If they can create chances for him, I'm sure he'll score goals. It'll be good for him to get game time and hopefully put himself in the shop window come the summer. For us though, in regards to the ins, the main link at the moment seems to be Slimani, who of course is a Leicester City player out on loan at Monaco. Played 14-15 games for them, scored 7, set up just as many. He's asked to terminate his loan deal, apparently, but we aren't the only club in for him. Man United are also in for him. So, does he want to play for Man United, have a little bit of taste of Europe if he's not cup tied? Or does he want to come to the Villa, play in that Carling Cup final and help us get to Europe for next season and also help us get out of this relegation battle that we're in and finish mid-table? If we are going to bring Slimani in, does he play ahead of Samatta? Yes, he has some Premier League experience, but is it extensive enough to say that he's a lot more experienced than Samatta? I think he's had, 2 seasons? One at Leicester, one at Newcastle, and he didn't play a hell of a lot of games, really. Anyway, we've got to turn our attentions this weekend to Bournemouth now. Away from home, they obviously picked up that lovely win against Brighton, and they had players firing in goals again. We go there full of confidence, though. We go there full of confidence after the late winners against Watford and the late winner against Leicester. You know what? I couldn't care less if it's another late winner against Bournemouth. We obviously just need that win. This is a big 6-pointer again. If we can win, we can pull away from them and get away, even more so from those relegation places. Step away from the likes of West Ham. Step away from the likes of Brighton. Burnley have had a couple of good results, so they're starting to creep away, but they're catchable. There's a lot of teams down there that are catchable. We probably need about 5-6 wins to ensure our survival. You know, Fulham last season, they're around about the same amount of points as we're on now. We've got a lot of games more left to play, and hopefully we can get another 15 points or so. For me, against Bournemouth, you've got to be looking at that same lineup that started against Leicester, providing that they're all fit, with the exception of Pepe Reina in goal. Reina in goal for his experience. Nyland was phenomenal. Made 3 superb saves from Maddison. He looked confident and assured throughout the game, but Pepe Reina has also shown just how valuable he is to the team. So for me, it's Reina in goal, Konsa, Mings and Haas in defence, Gilbert, Douglas Luiz, Nakamba, Target in midfield, Anwar El Ghazi, Samatta and Grealish up front. You could argue that Trezeguet comes in for El Ghazi because of, how he's feeling and his confidence after bagging the winner against Leicester. He does tend to come up with a goal when we need them in matches. And you've also got El Mohammadi, who could come in for Freddie G. For me, though, Freddie G is a better player. He'll be able to handle Harry Wilson or Ryan Fraser a lot better than Elmo would be able to. I'd also stick with El Ghazi. I just think he's a better player than Trezeguet, really. I think there's more about him, and that when he's on form, compared to when Trezeguet's on form. El Ghazi is just that little bit more dangerous. But we'll see. That's that for me. On the bench, hopefully we got Chester, if not Chester Engels, Nyland, Harahan and Drinkwater, Keenan Davis, if we don't get another striker in before that 12 p.m. tomorrow. And then you get El Mohammadi and you have Trezeguet or El Ghazi for me, Trezeguet on the bench. I'm confident about the game tomorrow. I think there's going to be a few goals. I do think that we'll see Bournemouth having more shots at goal than us. And match of the day will show how we've gone and nicked it. A bit of a smash and grab. I think it'll be 2-1 to us. Callum Wilson to score for the opposition. For us, it's a good one. I think we're going to see a Samatta goal, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jack Grealish winner. Bournemouth 1, Aston Villa 2. Pull us further away from those relegation spaces. Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know what you think the scores are going to be. We're on Twitter, Talk of the Trinity, but our Twitter is at Talk Trinity. Find us on there, always tweeting, as you know. Little subscription here, that'd be nice and naughty and much appreciated. Have a great weekend. Let's hope that we come back from Bournemouth with 3 points. Up the Villa.